Welcome, everybody, to episode 18 of the Fanboys Anonymous Group Meeting Podcast. I am your host, the owner of FanboysAnonymous.com, Tony Mango, and joining me on the panel tonight, we've got Shaun Walker.
Kamehameha!
Calen Ferris.
Get over here!
Ronnie Brown.
Finish him!
And Will Molinar.
Hi-de-ho.
I don't remember any of the characters saying hi-de-ho, but it would be hilarious if they did.
Yeah.
That was the Mr. Hanky.
So this meeting has officially been called to order. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Normally we focus on movies because that's my bread and butter, but we've been doing a lot of movie talk. We've got another couple episodes of movie talk coming up pretty soon with the For Real Movie Club and everything Avengers related, because this has been like Avengers year basically. So instead of talking about DC and Marvel and the usual kind of things, I figured let's do a video game one. And what better one to do than talk about something that just came out recently, the Mortal Kombat franchise. Mortal Kombat X, I guess you could call it. Mortal Kombat 10, whatever they want to go by necessarily. Just recently came out, and I know that a couple people on Fanboys have been playing that game and having a lot of fun with it. I myself haven't, but I have played different games in the franchise. I have checked out some different things, so we're going to keep this like all-inclusive. This is going to talk about the games, the movies, the YouTube series, the fact that they use K for C and nobody's done spell check, your favorite characters, and just pretty much anything in general. Things that we love about the franchise, things that we hate, and the fact that every woman in the franchise has size triple E breasts, and just the most random things.
You're
that we can
saying
talk
that
about.
like it's a bad thing, Tony.
Oh, that's definitely not a bad thing. Although it's bad for future lower back problems. But let's start off pretty generic here. Who's your favorite character? Who wants to go first?
Raiden for me, for sure. I'm not positive, but I believe they got the inspiration from Big Trouble in Little China.
Huh.
It's one of my favorite films of all time. John Carpenter, Kurt Russell, and the character Lightning. They had the three storms: rain, thunder, and lightning. And the lightning character had the big hat like Raiden does, and he can shoot lightning like Raiden does. I'm pretty sure they got inspiration from that movie.
What about you, Ronnie? Who's your favorite?
I'm boring, but I've got to say Sub-Zero. He's the fucking man.
Oh, the man. That's mine, too. What's better than freeze, uppercut, freeze, uppercut, freeze,
Exactly.
Oh, it's so annoying.
And then when your friend gets all pissed off, dude, do something else. Then you do that jump kick and then go back to freezing it uppercut. It's the only way I could win those games back in the day. Now, do you like the heroic one or the evil one? Because apparently there's two of them.
That's a tough one. I gotta go evil.
I think I gotta go with the heroic one. Although, I don't like the dude that looks like a regular guy wearing a cheap vest. Like, you gotta go with the ninja, which, if the ninja one is always evil, then I go with the evil one, but I'm not sure about that.
But, the normal guy in the vest, that gives me inspiration. Maybe I can be Sub-Zero someday. Just put a vest on.
This is like an Iron Man or Batman thing.
You really apply yourself, you can do it.
I have to go get that vest. That's the biggest hurdle.
Yeah, the whole being able to freeze things and being a ninja, that'll come in time.
That'll come later. But if you got the vest, then goddamn, you're halfway there.
Calen, what about you? Who's your favorite character?
I'd have to go with the ninja that was first playable in Mortal Kombat 2, and that would be Reptile. He's been my favorite for a while.
You couldn't play him in the first one?
He appeared. He was a secret character, but you couldn't control him.
It was just like a palette swap or something?
Yeah, it was a secret, non-playable character.
Reptile was an odd one. I used to think that he was like this real mythical, like, oh my god, he's the best out of all of them, just because, that happens with video games and stuff. Like, the truck, if you move it, you get a Mew, because Mew's the best, and, different kind of crap like that. But Reptile always seemed kind of cool to me. Not as cool in the movie, but we'll talk about that a little later.
Doesn't he spit the acid? He spits the acid out of his mouth?
Yeah, I liked him because he was quick. That was a quick move you could do, just tap, and spit that. And then he had the force ball and do the slide and everything. And
he was force sensitive?
What's that?
He was force sensitive?
Yes, exactly.
Little Jedi Reptile.
He had midichlorians.
Oh, goddamn it, midichlorians. Don't ruin this franchise, too. Shaun, who's your favorite?
The one and only Jean-Claude Van Damme, Johnny Cage.
It basically is.
Yeah, he is. You know, Johnny Cage, what's not to love about this guy? He gets all the bitches, he punches people in the cock. What more do you want?
Oh, man. So, what are some characters that you guys really hate? I mean, there's so many characters, you can't even just have, like, a list of them. You can click on the character wiki, and there's, like, 30 subcategories of characters. Like, apparently, here's a whole list of undead ones, and here's a whole list of vampires, and...
I hate Sybil. I hate Sybil.
Who's Sybil?
I know she's in Trilogy. She's got the hair whip. She looks like Elvira, but like an older Elvira. She's got like the long gray hair. Who wraps somebody with their hair and whips you with the hair? It's completely retarded. Am I allowed to say retarded? Sorry.
No, you're allowed to say
Sure.
anything.
Okay. It's retarded. I mean, seriously, that's what she does. That's like her throw. She whips people with her hair and then throws you with the hair.
Yeah, that sounds kind of dumb. Do they have that whole I whip my hair back and forth song playing every time she does that? Somebody that I've never been too fond of, and I don't really know why. It's kind of odd, but I've never been too big about the robot guys. Cyrax, I think, is one of them.
Cyrax and Sector.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sector's
Like,
great.
to me, they just seem like cheap Predator ripoffs.
Maybe,
Yeah,
but, you know.
they were kind of boring to me. I thought, they were like the counterparts to the ninjas, but less interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at least
Downright
they're different, though. At least they're not another generic ninja in the same outfit. At least they, tried to make them different.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's
I've
better
never
than the whole, like, Katana and who's the one that's, like, the exact same thing?
Molina.
Molina,
Yeah,
that's her name?
Molina. No, never been a fan.
Katana's
I like
kind of
them.
cool, but...
I like both of those girls. I thought they were good.
Which one was played by Talisa Soto in the movie? Is that Katana?
I
No
don't
idea.
remember.
The only reason I remember is because she was a Bond girl. I was just kind of like, oh, Bond girl! And then,
She's
whoa,
the
look, the
fit
girl
one.
from Billy Madison.
If she's the fit one, it's Cortana, because Molina's the one with a fucked up face.
Oh, that makes sense then. Yeah, she's got an attractive face instead of a fucked up one, so it's probably Katana.
There you go.
Speaking of female characters, I've never been fond of Shiva. I've never liked with the four arms, like Goro, kind of. Never been a fan of her. I don't like the way she moves. I hate fighting against her. Not a fan.
Down, up, triangle, spam it, wins every time.
That's
I do think it's funny that they call
jump
her
up in the
Shiva.
air and the slam, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's perfect, though, to call her Shiva.
Yeah.
If they just did another one, it was like an elephant character named Ganesha. It's just like flat out racist.
And besides that, never really liked Jax either. I mean, it just
Really?
I don't know. I just don't like his moveset. I don't like controlling him.
He's too slow. He's too
yeah.
damn slow. It's so hard to get him working,
I mean, I've fought against people who are really great with him, but personally, I don't like the rhythm of it. So.
If any of you watched the cartoon show, I was positive Jax was a homosexual.
Now, before we recorded this, you brought up this cartoon show. None of us have any idea what the hell cartoon show you're talking about.
I vaguely remember the cartoon show, but I didn't watch it. I was a little too old at that point, I think. But
I gotta look this up because I don't remember this at
Defenders
all.
of the Realm.
Defenders
There's
of
two.
the Realm.
Defenders of the Realm, yeah.
Okay.
Defenders of the Realm. Man, I don't remember this in the slightest bit. When did this come out? It came out
1996.
96.
Yeah.
Back to back with the Street Fighter animated series. I watched that.
Are you on the Wikipedia page? Because I am too.
Yeah.
Yes.
A cartoon series based on the popular Mortal Kombat video game series produced
That's
by
what this
Threshold.
podcast will be, so turn the rest off now if you don't want to hear us reading the Wikipedia page.
It's an alternative sequel to the Mortal Kombat film and the events of Mortal Kombat 3. I don't remember what happens in Mortal Kombat 3, the game, but...
Theme songs kick ass.
Oh, Clancy Brown's in this? Shit. He's the man.
Oh, yeah.
And Ron Perlman? What the fuck? So they're just like, anybody who has a deep voice and is masculine, can you just voice a character? Clancy, can
Harry
you be
is
like
Sub-Zero.
No,
everybody?
that doesn't count for Luke Perry.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, what's he
Oh,
doing?
shit, yeah, I didn't notice him. And he's Sub-Zero? You ruined Sub-Zero by having Luke Perry voice him? God damn it.
Sub-Zero was pretty badass.
I could see Luke Perry voicing Johnny Cage, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be more believable.
I don't know who Todd Thawley is, but... I don't know much about the Nightwolf character either, for that matter.
No, Nightwolf was my favorite character in that TV show.
Why is that?
Because he was a badass, and the wolf jumped into the spine and turned him into Nightwolf.
Huh. It looks like Raiden's the main character of this. No Liu Kang? Oh, shit.
Yeah,
There
Liu
he
Kang is it.
is. Right underneath it, okay. Yeah, no,
Raiden
Johnny
was a bit
Cage,
of a
though,
fag.
listed on the cast. They have Sonya. Who's Stryker?
Striker is the gay cop. Yeah.
Wait, so you thought Stryker and Jax were a gay couple?
I think they had a relationship, yes.
Well, it looks like the guy that played Liu Kang is the only Asian actor here, Brian
Well,
Tucci.
surprise, surprise.
Yeah, I don't remember this series at all.
There's
Wow.
only 13 episodes. That's probably why.
Yeah, it's got to be a good reason why.
There's
Yeah.
only 13 episodes. I thought it was longer than that.
Huh?
Maybe they
Came
split
and
up the season in a bunch of ways, or maybe as a kid you just kept watching the same couple episodes and going like, I don't remember what happens here.
I mean, I was in college at the time, but I do remember it coming out, and I was still watching some cartoons at that point. And I think it's one of those cartoons that I'm always like, oh, I should probably check that out. And then it was canceled before I could.
So like Young Justice and the hell was the name of that that fucking Batman cartoon? No, I can't remember.
Yeah, animated series.
No, because that went on forever. Thank God, that was freaking awesome. But
Batman of the Future. Those pretty dollars.
so they had this cartoon series. They had obviously their 2 movies. They've had God knows how many games. I'm looking at the game list right now. It seems like every year they came out with one until 2008, and then they took a couple of years off. But wow, 1992, 93, 95. Actually, 2 of them in 95, so there goes your 94. 96, 97, 97, 99. God, man, I don't remember playing half of these games. I know I played Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and I'm pretty sure I played 3. I don't know about this Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. That seems like that's just kind of like Street Fighter 2 Turbo to the max, Super
Exactly,
Ultra.
yeah, they just updated it with a little bit of stuff.
Which, side note about Street Fighter, since we're talking about combat games anyway, how many times are you going to remake fucking Street Fighter 2 before you do Street Fighter 3? God damn, that
it's
used to piss me
ridiculous.
off.
There's Alpha, Street Fighter 2 Alpha, Street Fighter, they just keep adding subtitles to it,
Like, at a certain point, don't they just go like, look, we've got like 15 Street Fighter 2s. We should be at Street Fighter like 30 by now.
Because
damn.
that was the most popular one. That's what people want,
And yet
I still
nobody
play Street
remembers
Fighter.
the first one.
Oh, no, nobody remembers that even exists. It's like, oh yeah, the first Street Fighter where you could play as Blanca and like... I was always more of a Street Fighter guy than Mortal Kombat, by the way.
Yeah,
I
me
mean-
too.
I don't know if it
I
was
like
just
the
like
animation
the...
better. It was just more cartoony and more fun, and
Yeah, I like the characters better too. Like Mortal Kombat went for more of like the edge, and Street Fighter went for more of like the superhero kind of thing.
yeah.
And I was always more into superheroes than I was just like flat out violence. Not that violence is bad or anything. Of course, favorite movie of all time is Terminator 2, and since I was like 3 years old, but Mortal Kombat 4, Mythology, Sub-Zero, he got his own video game. Awesome.
By the way, Tony, we're gonna have a little rumble about Terminator 3 because that movie's good. Okay,
Oh.
you're wrong, buddy.
We'll do a
Good
debate podcast on that one time. And
We're gonna
all
do
of your
it.
defense I'll edit out because that movie's terrible.
I agree.
And the next one will be too.
It's gonna be the worst.
Special Forces. I don't think I even heard anybody talking about that game. Like most of these I've actually heard of at least a little bit, like Shaolin Monks. I remember playing that for a few minutes here and there, and I've heard about Unchained, and I've heard about Armageddon, and
Oh god, Armageddon was awful.
really?
Yeah, that's the first one I ever properly played because the only time I was allowed to play Mortal Kombat was when I was over my cousin's house because he had the copy of the game. But Mortal Kombat Armageddon was crap. It was like one of the 3D ones, and they all had weapons and shit. It was kind
The 3D. It's like most of the 3Ds didn't seem to work very well, at least at the beginning. It's like they couldn't figure out how to do it. It worked better as 2D.
So like, the best we could do is 2.5D.
Yeah.
Stupid math jokes. I love them. Mortal Kombat Deception? That doesn't ring a bell.
Deception.
I remember
was
that
awful.
one.
It was awful.
Yeah, I remember that.
Deceptively good? Two in a row. I do like how they have the arcade collection, of course, with a K, and then right next to that, the complete collection, of course, with a K.
Huh.
We should spell your name Calen with a K.
Most people do anyway, so that's fine.
And since it's Shaun Walker, we should spell that with a C.
Yeah.
Walser. So Mortal Kombat X is the most recent one. Has anybody played that?
Yes.
Nope.
I played a little bit of it.
I have not played it, but I've watched hours and hours of it on Twitch.
Let's plays and walkthroughs and stuff? Or just
Yeah,
general
just watching people play it
You
for the last
watch
couple
people
weeks.
play for hours. Wow.
Well, yeah.
Why aren't you writing articles for Fanboys?
Right? It's because, well, it was a couple days before it was actually officially released, and there were only like 2 or 3 people playing it because I guess they got advanced copies or something. So I was, just a curiosity factor. I want to see what it was like, and I want to see all the characters and all that. And then, as soon as it came out, then you had like 50 people playing it on there. And since I don't own the PS4 or the Xbox One, then I'm not really able to buy the new one, although I would love to. But hopefully someday I will.
Yeah, I run
If
into
you
the same
stopped
issue.
watching and got a job, you'd be able to pay for it.
Just trade in your
I
girlfriend.
actually watch it at work. That is, don't tell my boss.
I'm sure he's listening to this.
He's clicking on there going, man, I want to watch some Mortal Kombat. I want to watch people talk about Mortal Kombat being played by other people.
We should do a commentary on which videos.
How pissed would the audience be if they click on the next video and it's a fan tracks of this? So at this part, we decided to talk about the games instead of the TV series. And that led into some nice conversation. And then we started talking about Let's Plays.
And then we'll need YouTube account number 3.
Yeah, because then we'll get taken down because fucking YouTube. People will be like, this isn't the commentary of the fucking Let's Play. This isn't an actual tournament. What the hell? Why are you labeling it this way?
Where's the boobs?
Yeah. I actually have gotten that comment many times. People are like, do more boob stuff. Fine, we'll talk about Katana a little bit.
Like, what do you want from an audio post? Talk about boobs.
Just like a Tyler Durden quick 1-frame porn shot or something. So I haven't seen much of Mortal Kombat X. I do run into the same situation, though. I don't own any of the more recent systems. Actually, my most recent system that I've owned is a PlayStation 2, so that goes to show you how much of a gamer I am. But I do check out Let's Plays to get around that, because there's no way I'm not going to check out the story of, like, Arkham City and stuff like that. But I watched about maybe, like, 5 videos or so of the person that I usually check out, DSP Gaming, Darkside Falls on YouTube. He has done tons of different combat fighting kind of game stuff in the past, and I figured I'd check out the Mortal Kombat stuff. I stopped watching it after a couple of videos, because not only was it just like, how many times am I going to watch somebody fight, but, other shit got in the way, other podcasts and stuff like that. I'll probably go back and check it out, because the last part that I remember watching was that they're setting up some kind of a story between Johnny Cage has a kid with Sonya. I was just like, this is fucking weird. So I'm curious how that ends. But
I told you, Luke Cage gets all the bitches.
Luke Cage?
Johnny Cage.
It's a cross between Johnny Cage and Liu Kang, right?
Maybe they had a kid together, and that's what they named it.
And she's going to be the star of AKA Jessica Jones.
Well, according to Shaun, there were gay undertones there, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Or they adopted a kid.
Yeah, they adopted.
The Wacky Adventures.
Ooh, I smell a sitcom.
Oh, I want to have like some Perfect Strangers 80s sitcom opening theme. Standing tall.
Except it'll be like Too Many Cooks, where there'll just be a lot of violent deaths in that opening theme.
I'm down for this. I'd rather watch this than that cartoon series. Oh, speaking of television shows, I wanted to bring this up because this is something that I needed to get into something on Fanboys somewhere.
Oh, God.
And what perfect thing to incorporate it then into this, because it basically was inspired by it. There was a TV show when I was a kid that I watched every like Saturday morning, and I thought it was dumb as shit. But I watched it because it was just like, this is fucking retarded. And every once in a while, I'll bring it up to somebody who's the same age range as I am, and they'll be like, oh my god, that fucking show? That was so goddamn stupid. I want to see if anybody here remembers this or watched it or anything. You might not recognize it from necessarily the name, though, because it took me years to figure out what the fuck it was called. I forgot the name of it, and I had to research it and stuff. But it's WMAC Masters.
What?
What
As we all frantically search for it.
Yeah. It stood for World Martial Arts Council. And it was this thing on 4Kids Entertainment, that producer group that used to do like a lot of the different Saturday morning cartoons and stuff like that, like the Fox Kids kind of things and stuff, Power Rangers, like, you know, that kind of related material. But it was basically like they knew that Mortal Kombat was super popular around that time, so they were like, let's try to do Mortal Kombat, but we have to do it for kids so they can't have people like, you know, murder each other and shit. So instead, let's take these kind of characters that seem like they're Mortal Kombat ripoffs and have them do like a fake fighting tournament thing. And it was so damn cheesy. Like, the characters were as like much of a ripoff as you could get. It's like, this is Chameleon, and this is Mouse, and Black Widow, and Olympus. And like, one of the ones that
I'm looking at one of the toys right now, Star Warrior with Tornado Kick.
The Tiger Claw was like the fucking man at the time and stuff. But they had people like Brandon Lee, I think, was part of this, and his sister was involved in some fashion. Like, they tried to get people that could do this kind of stuff, but they were so ridiculous. It was all like, they had these battle zones where like certain people were better in certain fucking domes that they would fight in. It was like, let's take UFC and Mortal Kombat
nightmare.
and oh my god, it was the most ridiculous, amazing thing in the world.
Yeah, I just looked it up. This does not ring a bell at all.
No, not at all for me either.
They air this on Fox Kids, you said? It says it's a 4Kids Entertainment, but what channel did they run this on? Fox?
I don't think it was Fox necessarily. It might have been.
It said syndication, so I don't know.
It was Shannon Lee, not Brandon Lee. Shannon Lee, the daughter of Bruce Lee, was the host.
That's right.
What was it called again?
WMAC Masters. I'm looking it up right now. It says syndication was on UPN, so that might have been where I was checking it out.
Probably.
Because CW wasn't around at the time. But
That does not ring a bell at all to me.
This
Was it
show...
live action?
Yeah, it was a live action thing. And
Oh, wait, this was live action?
yeah.
I was assuming it was cartoon. Wow.
This is
Yeah,
like
holy shit.
as amazing of like a terrible mid-90s ripoff product as you can possibly get.
Look at these character names: The Machine, Turbo, Panther, Yin Yang Man, Red Dragon, and then whoa, listen to this, Jake.
Wait a minute.
How did Jake feel?
I think I
You got
watched.
Yin
Yeah, I
Yang
watched
Man,
this.
Wizard, Red Dragon, and his name's Jake.
I remember watching this. You're not the only one, Tony. I watched this shit.
Did this have any
Yes.
similarity to like the fight scenes in Power Rangers or anything like that? It sounds like something like that.
Kind of. It was as ridiculous as the Power Ranger fights, although when they got hit in the chest, they didn't explode.
Well, then I'm not. on
Sparks
board.
didn't fly out of their chest.
Yeah. Or actually, they might have. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them when they have, you know, Yin Yang Man and Olympus and Tsunami and...
Kid Carmichael. Who the fuck? Kid Carmichael. He's
Lady
like the
Lightning.
underdog. And then there's just Bam. Just Bam.
Yeah, Bam and Jake.
Now I'd watch a spin-off just
Right.
focusing on Bam and Jake.
There you go. There's another sitcom. Bam and Jake. But they tried so hard to make this, like, to capitalize off the Mortal Kombat stuff, but make it like a kids kind of thing. And it's just like, one of the things that makes the Mortal Kombat franchise so popular is the fact that it's so goddamn dark and bloody and everything. And you can't do that with this kind of cheesy shit where it's like, we're going to fight in the Mayan mystery battle zone. Because we've got a bunch of fake carvings on the wall and it looks like a temple or something. Like that is a show I needed to bring up somewhere, and the perfect time to do it for this. But